On the 3rd of May, 2017, we left Florence by 8 o'clock in the morning by train through beautiful countryside and reached Rome terminal by 9:40 am. We went to our hotel, Ko Eco Vadis Roma 2 inches. We went to Angry Pig restaurant to have our lunch. We took a tram ride to Vatican Museum stop and went to Vatican Museums. We started our tour of the museum from Gregorian Egyptian Museum. The Vatican Museums display works from the immense collection amassed by the Catholic Church and the papacy throughout the centuries, including several of the most renowned Roman sculptures and most important masterpieces of Renaissance art in the world. After Egyptian room, we went to Sculpture Gallery and Hall of Busts in Museo Pio Clementino, named after two popes, Clement XIV and Pius VI. As we came out of the second museum, we came across Sphere Within Sphere. Sphere Within Sphere is a bronze sculpture by Italian sculptor Arnaldo Pomodoro. Then we entered the Flamentino Hall with beautifully carved ceilings and walls. The Gallery of Maps is located on the west side of the Belvedere courtyard in the Vatican Museum. The gallery was commissioned in 1580 by Pope Gregory XIII as part of other artistic works commissioned by the Pope to decorate the Vatican. It took 23 years from 1580 to 1583 to complete the 40 panels of the 120-meter-long gallery. The decorations on the vaulted ceiling are the work of a group of Mannerist artists including Cesar Nebbia and Girolamo Musiano. As we came out in the opening of the museum, we were greeted by a number of magnificent marble statues, and one of them was the statue of former Pope, Saint Gregorius. After visiting the Vatican Museum, we proceeded to Spanish Steps. The Church of the Santissima Trinita de Monte, often called merely the Trinita de Monte, is a Roman Catholic late Renaissance titular church in Rome, central Italy. It is best known for its position above the Spanish Steps which lead down to the famous Piazza di Spagna. The monumental stairway of 135 steps was built by French diplomat Etienne Gouffier. There was a beautiful fountain as we came down the steps. Next day, on the 4th of May 2017, we took our breakfast in the hotel and took a tram to Colosseum. The Colosseum is an oval amphitheater in the center of the city of Rome, just east of the Roman Forum. It is the largest ancient amphitheater ever built, and is still the largest standing amphitheater in the world today, despite its age. Construction began under the Emperor Vespasian in 72 AD and was completed in 80 AD under his successor and heir, Titus. The Colosseum could hold an estimated 50,000 to 80,000 spectators. It was used for gladiatorial contests and public spectacles including animal hunts, executions, reenactments of famous battles, and dramas based on Roman mythology. As we came out of the Colosseum, we could see the Arch of Constantine. The Arch of Constantine is a triumphal arch in Rome dedicated to the Emperor Constantine the Great. It is situated between the Colosseum and the Palatine Hill. The Palatine Hill, which is the centermost of the 7 hills of Rome, is one of the most ancient parts of the city and has been called the first nucleus of the Roman Empire. The site is now mainly a large open-air museum, while the Palatine Museum houses many finds from the excavations here and from other ancient Italian sites. The Palatine Stadium, an important sector of the Flavian Palace, was a hippodromus, meaning an exercise yard for horses originally, but this one became a garden with paths and flower beds. The Flavian Palace, normally known as the Domus Flavia, is part of the vast Palace of Domitian on the Palatine Hill in Rome. It was completed in 92 AD by Emperor Titus Flavius Domitianus, and attributed to his master architect, Rabirius. The Circus Maximus is an ancient Roman chariot racing stadium and mass entertainment venue in Rome, Italy. In the valley between the Aventine and Palatine Hills, it was the first and largest stadium in ancient Rome and its later empire. The Farnese Gardens, or Gardens of Farnese upon the Palatine, was created in 1550 on the northern portion of Palatine Hill, by Cardinal Alessandro Farnese. They were the first private botanical gardens in Europe. From the higher level of Palatine Hill, one can have a beautiful view of Roman Forum. The complete view of Colosseum and Roman Forum is even better from this point. Even we could locate Trevi Fountain. Then we went to Roman Forum. Our first destination is Basilica of Mazzinias. The Basilica of Mazzinias in Constantine, sometimes known as the Basilica Nova, meaning New Basilica, or Basilica of Mazzinias, is an ancient building in the Roman Forum. It was the largest building in the Forum, and the last Roman basilica built in the city. The Temple of Caesar, also known as Temple of the Comet Star, is an ancient structure in the Roman Forum located near the Regia and the Temple of Vesta. The Temple of Vesta is located in the Roman Forum near the Regia and the House of the Vestal Virgins. The Temple of Vesta housed Vesta's holy fire, which was a symbol of Rome's safety and prosperity. The sacred fire of Vesta burned in it and was guarded by the 6 Vestal Virgins. The temple's most recognizable feature is its circular footprint. Since the worship of Vesta began in private homes, the architecture seems to pay homage to the architecture of early Roman homes. The temple used Greek architecture with Corinthian columns, marble, and had a central cellar. The surviving structure indicates that there were 20 Corinthian columns built on a podium 15 meters in diameter. The roof probably had a vent at the apex to allow smoke to release. The Temple of Saturn was an ancient Roman temple to the god Saturn. Its ruins stand at the foot of the Capitoline Hill at the western end of the Roman Forum. The original dedication of the temple is traditionally dated to 497 BC. The Column of Focus is a Roman monumental column in the Roman Forum, built when Rome was part of the Eastern Roman Empire after reconquest from the kingdom of the Ostrogoths. Just outside the Roman Forum is the Trevi Fountain, our next destination. It was designed by Italian architect Nicola Salvi and completed by Giuseppe Panini and several others. Standing 26.3 meters high and 49.15 meters wide, it is the largest Baroque fountain in the city and one of the most famous fountains in the world. Corinthian pilasters that link the two main stories. Taming of the waters is the theme of the gigantic scheme that tumbles forward, mixing water and rockwork, and filling the small square. Our next destination was Altar of Fatherland. The Victor Emmanuel II National Monument, also known as Altar of Fatherland, is a large national monument built between 1885 and 1935 to honor Victor Emmanuel II, the first king of a unified Italy. It occupies a site between the Piazza Venezia and the Capitoline Hill. From an architectural perspective, it was conceived as a modern forum. It also preserves the altar of the fatherland, first an altar of the goddess Rome, then also a shrine of the Italian unknown soldier. The existing design of the Piazza del Campo d'Olio and the surrounding palazzi was created by Renaissance artist and architect Michelangelo Buonarroti in 1536 to 1546. The 3 remodeled palazzi enclose a harmonious trapezoidal space, approached by the ramp staircase called the Cordonate or Michelangelo stairs. We enjoyed the beautiful sunset from Piazza del Campo d'Olio. From the Capitoline Hill we could enjoy the night view of Colosseum and Trevi Fountain. Then we went to St. Peter's Basilica to enjoy the night view. Next day, on the 5th of May 2017, we took our breakfast in the hotel and took a tram to Vatican. The Papal Basilica of St. Peter in the Vatican, or simply St. Peter's Basilica, is a church built in the Renaissance style located in Vatican City, that is within the city of Rome. It was initially planned by Pope Nicholas V and then Pope Julius II to replace the aging old St. Peter's Basilica, which was built in the 4th century by Roman Emperor Constantine the Great. Construction of the present basilica began on the 18th of April 1506 and was completed on the 18th of November 1626. Designed principally by Donato Bramante, Michelangelo, Carlo Medano and Gian Lorenzo Bernini, St. Peter's is the most renowned work of Renaissance architecture and the largest church in the world by interior measure. Designed principally by Donato Bramante, Michelangelo, Carlo Maderno and Gian Lorenzo Bernini, St. Peter's is the most renowned work of Renaissance architecture and the largest church in the world by interior measure. St. Peter's is regarded as one of the holiest Catholic shrines. St. Peter's rises to a total height of 136.57 meters and its internal diameter is 41.47 meters. From the upper floor of the basilica, we could see the vast expansion of Vatican and Rome. Beautiful details of St. Peter's Square were also visible. Then, we came down to St. Peter's Square and took photographs of the basilica and the surrounding buildings. We then went inside the basilica and enjoyed the fantastic paintings on the walls, domes and corridors. The interior of St. Peter's is filled with many masterpieces of Renaissance and Baroque art, among the most famous of which are Michelangelo's Pietà, the baldachin by Bernini over the main altar, the statue of Saint Logines in the crossing, the tomb of Urban VIII, and the bronze cathedral of St. Peter in the apse. The Apostolic Palace is the official residence of the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church, located in Vatican City. It is also known as the Papal Palace, the Palace of the Vatican, and the Vatican Palace. Obelisco di Piazza San Pietro is a monumental granite obelisk dating to ancient Egyptian times. After a satisfying visit of the Basilica, we came out again to the St. Peter's Square and proceeded towards the Pantheon. The Pantheon is a former Roman temple and converted to a Catholic church since 609 AD. The temple was commissioned by Marcus Agrippa during the reign of Augustus. The building is cylindrical with a portico of large granite Corinthian columns. A rectangular vestibule links the porch to the rotunda, which is under a coffered concrete dome, with a central opening to the sky. It is one of the best preserved of all ancient Roman buildings. Piazza Navona is one of the largest and most beautiful piazza squares in Rome with 3 impressive fountains, including La Fontana de Quattro Fiumi with its large obelisk at the center. The Baroque church of Sant'Nes in Argonne provides an impressive backdrop. Next day in the morning we left Rome for traveling back to Delhi, India.